Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratushe Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare So yeah, I feel extremely unqualified and also a bit ashamed in sitting here. I'm not at all qualified to sit here and speak. But still, as an instruction by His Grace Piri Gopesh Prabhu, I would do that as service. Although I'm not qualified, I'll try to speak whatever I heard from them, and for my own purification, I would try to speak something. So, unfortunately, you have to bear with me today, and also request you can pray so that I speak in parampara. Hare Krishna. So yeah, so today's topic is very, very important. So learning to see spiritually. So many times, even if you see during Prabhupada's time, right? So when Prabhupada first went to New York, in Bowery, so he saw all hippies, right? And people in general, we see hippies, people were thinking they are degraded. We don't go near to them. They are very much degraded. They are not clean. They are basically outcasted from society. Correct? So they're very lowly minded, right? So that's what we see in general. But Prabhupada actually saw the spark in them. They saw they are the soul, part and parcel of Krishna, right? And he saw they are suffering, right? And then he gave, he saw the spark, and then he gave the bhakti bij, right? The Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to them. Right? So that's how exalted personalities see, right? And even if you see similarly, last time when Prabhuji was speaking about Haridas Thakur, right? So when the prostitute approached Haridas Thakur long time back, right? So you feel prostitutes are again lowly minded, lower class, right? You don't even you see them as outcasted again, right? And he was a sadhu. Haridas Thakur was a sadhu, right? So, but he didn't see in that way. He saw again she was a soul again, part and parcel of Krishna. And then he saw the spark in her, and then he gave the bhakti bij, he gave the mantra, Hare Krishna mantra, and then initiated her. Right? That's how the great personalities see, like Haridas Thakur. So that is the outlook, how we have to approach to see towards. And even in general, the outlook, for example, even if you see the case of Putana, right? Putana was a Rakshashi, right? She wanted to kill Krishna, right? But what happened? Krishna, although he delivered her, he gave the position of mother, nurse in spiritual world. Because she came to kill Krishna, but she came in a motherly way. She gave the milk to Krishna. So Krishna saw that one good quality, right? And Krishna gave the position of mother in spiritual world to Rakshashi, right? And even if you see the example of Krishna with Kubja, I mean, we see the hunchback people. I mean, the story, kids go and see hunchback people and they say, "What are you looking at?" Right? What are you looking at down? They say, "I'm looking at the young age. I want to get back to the young age." Right? They're looking somewhere down, correct? But Krishna saw Kubja. She saw the love and affection she was giving, and then he gave beautiful form to her and liberated her. Right? That's where Krishna sees. So the outlook is very different. The perspective is very different. Um, I can take one other example. Like one time, Prabhupada, he went to Hawaii with the devotees. So what happened? It was a very wonderful weather. It was a very nice ocean, beach, and very wonderful scenery. And it was very, people were enjoying, kind of, they are feeling pleasant. While you go to a beach, you feel very pleasant, right? So, but Prabhupada didn't see that way. He saw this is the creation of Krishna. You see the beautiful painting what Krishna has painted here, right? That's what Prabhupada was saying, right? He's seeing Krishna there. We see in the self-centered way that I am the center. I want to enjoy. This is my place. I am enjoying. Krishna is Prabhupada is not seeing that way. He's seeing Krishna centered. Everything is connected to Krishna, right? That is the quality of pure devotees. Wherever they are, they see Krishna, right? They connect even the material things to Krishna, right? There's one morning walk from Prabhupada I was hearing. So, so Prabhupada daily used to go to morning walks, right? So what happened one time? Devotees were going in a different way. It's a park, so they're going in a different way, different route. So then, while they were going different route, devotees were saying, "Prabhupada, there is a fountain here. There's a statue here. There is some greenery here. There's a lake here." They were seeing all things wonderfully and saying, "Wow, very wonderful. We didn't see this." Then Prabhupada said, "We are going to the same park every day. Why didn't we see this? Why are you so excited today?" Right? So Prabhupada said, he connected to Krishna again. See, that is how Maya acts, he said. So it is the same park, correct? But you came in a different route, and then you're seeing it differently, right? So Maya gives the same thing in different packages, right? The same eating, meeting, sleeping, defending, birth, old age, disease, death, right? Same thing in life. There's nothing more beyond life. Just it is giving a different packaging, different gift cover, different discount, different special offers, right? And says this is a different, you should try it. But if you see open, it is the same thing. So Prabhupada said it's the material world, right? So because you come in a different way doesn't mean the content is changing. Right? It's the same thing. So Prabhupada said to Bhakti, right? So Prabhupada said we are not this body. By achieving the chewed. So you suppose I give you a bubble gum, bubble juice has gone. Then that the plastic remaining, where there is no juice, that is left, and people are still chewing it. There is no juice, there is no rasa. They're still chewing it, right? And still they're trying to find some happiness there, right? So the Prabhupada says that is chewing the chewed. You take birth again and again, trying to chew the same thing when there is no rasa. You're trying to find some happiness when there is no rasa, right? So this is the outlook where a devotee say and connect to Krishna. Right? We have to approach from our current material vision to spiritual vision. That's what we'll try to even speak today. Right? So varying perceptions. So yeah, suppose you give a paper, 500 rupee note, to a donkey. So what it will do? It will just eat it because it was said to eat. Doesn't know the value of it. Right? If you give it to a kind of a painter, maybe from who doesn't know the value, again he'll say, oh, "This is nice art." If you go to a printer shop, he'll say, what is the font of it, what is the cost of it, I mean, all that, quality of it and stuff, right? But only the person, if I give it to you, you'll say, "This is a valuable, it's a money. I just fold it and keep it in the pocket." That's what we do, right? I mean, similarly, if you take even Bhagavad Gita, if you give it a donkey, it will think paper, it will just eat it, correct? If you give it to maybe an atheist, so in office, if you go to people who don't believe in Gita, if you give them Gita, so they put it as a paperweight. They don't know the value of Bhagavad Gita. They just put it as a paperweight and use it like that. And if you give again to a devotee, he knows the value of Bhagavad Gita, and then he takes reads it, and then purifies himself, right? That's what, and transforms himself. Right? That's what a devotee does. Right? So the perceptions vary according to how you see, right? So vision towards deity. So similarly, when you come to a temple or you see a deity, So, so many times people come to temple, they see its architecture, its marbles and stuff. They just explore that, right? And even they see DT as a doll. They don't think it's actually Krishna standing there. They think it's just a doll, standing. Someone has decorated it, right? So actually, it is not like that. It's not a doll where people play, correct? It's Krishna standing. So even if you see the form of DT, right, is actually not just made from anywhere. It is taken from Shastras. So if you see the verse of Brahma Samhita also, Venum Kvanantam Arvindalaya Khastam Barahavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandarbhakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kalas Vanamalya Vamsi Ratnangatam Pranayakeli Kalavilasam Shyamam Tribangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So here you see, it's for Brahma Samhita. So the form is not just from anywhere. It is described. Krishna is handling the Vamsi, the Venu, right? Tribanga Lalita. He is standing in three-folded form, right? And he holds the Briha, the peacock feather. He is having yellow dhoti, right? He has a lotus head, Arvindalaya costume, right? Lotus head, lotus feet, right? And yeah, he glances with love, right? His beauty is so high that it is not even equal to millions of cupids, right? So it's very beautiful, right? So it is taken from Shastra how Krishna looks, and then the deity is made. It's not just taken from anywhere, and not just taking the form of it, but also if you see, it is installed as per Shastra, as per Parampara, right? There is Pranapratishtha process which has happened, to bring Krishna to this world. It is just like how you bring a baby, kid to the world. So every limb of the deity is brought out, like first legs, every limb, legs, hands, face, everything, and lastly eyes. So all the 8 dhatus are considered to bring the deity in this world. So it is, and even before the night of the deity is awoken, it's kept in the grains soaked, right? And then the next day, when the eyes are open, Krishna glances everywhere, and he doesn't glance just the bodies of us; he even sees inside us, right? So and it is installed as per Acharya. So if you just take the example of you can't say any box in this world as a post box. It has to be authorized by the government, saying this is a post box. Only if you put there, it will go. Right? Similarly, even deities, you can't say anything, any stone as a deity or at all. It has to come in parampara, authorized by acharyas. That's where pranapratishtha happens. Correct? Right. So we should never see deity as a doll. Right? Right. So deity beyond, even Uddhava, he says in Bhagavatam that Krishna says to Uddhava in Bhagavatam that see, my devotees, they make a form of myself and then they worship me. While they worship, I deliver them. So it's again said by Krishna himself. It's not just a doll, being just taken like that. And people say, what if someone breaks a deity, right? So you can again say, you can break the clock, but you can't break the time, right? So just breaking the deity doesn't mean Krishna is not there, right? Just like the sun also. You just suppose you say it's night, you can't say there is no sun. There is sun. He is in a different place. Right? You can't cover the sun, right? And the deity is not just to show some miracle. People say, deity is there, I want some miracle to see, right? Show some miracles and stuff. No, deity is actually brought to this world so that we can serve him, right? So people say, Krishna is everywhere, why to go to temple? So Prabhupada said, when Krishna is everywhere, then why not in temple? He's there even more in temple, right? And in his personal form, where you can serve him, correct? So you can say to them, see, there is water everywhere in the form of water vapor. Why don't you just drink over, right? Your thirst is quenched. No, you need a glass where the water is condensed and you can drink it. Similarly, Krishna is brought to this world in the form, so we can serve him, because although he is everywhere, we can't see him. Are we able to see everywhere in the morning as soon as we get up? We remember Krishna? No, we can't see. We need Krishna's form where you can serve personally. See the deities, right? So how wonderfully devotees are serving Krishna. They decorate him, they garland him, they do arati, they do abhishek, right? Yeah. So conditioned vision. Yeah. So here, so there are two things: seeing spiritual as material, and then seeing material as special, right? I mean, even if you see the old movies, a girl's handkerchief is left somewhere, then boy finds it, then he keeps it very sacred. I don't know. Actually, it is filthy. It is not sacred, but he feels it is very sacred, right? So although it is not special, you give a special importance. You make that belief it's very special, right? So that is the outlook of material we have, and we see the other way. We see the spiritual things as material. Are we taking the holy name very seriously, or we just take it very simply, just a name, just like we say John, this Krishna? No, John. You don't get anything with John, chanting John. Only if you chant Hare Krishna, you transform yourself, right? And this holy name is not of this world. It is beyond this world. It is a Taraka mantra which has come from Suchal world. It is the only transcendental object here, the sound vibration. And Krishna says, my name is not different from me, right? Are we taking holy name very seriously? Are we taking it lightly? Are we taking devotees association very seriously? See, association of devotees, we may think, they're just any people. Sometimes we may not value it. The only option in this material world is where you can go out of this world is this Sankirtan Yagya in Sangha, right? Where devotees help each other and grow, right? And finding devotees is very rare, right? Very, very rare. Are we giving the same importance to the devotees as we give to our relatives? Sometimes any function is there, we go, even if it is very far, we go and see our friends, family and stuff. Are we giving the same importance coming to the center, even though it is near? Right? Yeah. And are we really seeing the things we are doing to deity and devotees as spiritual? Like suppose, for example, people say, I offer food to Krishna. Is he taking it? Is he really taking it? Kids ask, right? Is he taking? It's the same. The food is there. Is he taking it? What is the answer? Is he taking or not taking? Smell. Okay. Any other thoughts? So yeah. So this was asked to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, is Krishna really taking the food offered? Immediately Prabhupada said, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yomai bhaktya prayachati tadhadam bhakti pratham asnami pretatmana. So Prabhupada immediately said this verse. So Krishna is saying, I take patram pushpam phalam toyam, right? Patram means leaf, pushpam flower, fruit, toyam water, whatever is offered with devotion I take. Devotion is an important aspect. He says, I take. Prabhupada says, Krishna is saying he'll take if you are with devotion. Should I believe Krishna's words or your words of rascal? That's what Prabhupada said. That is the confidence he has, faith he has, right? And he said, see, Krishna's senses are not like our senses. Krishna's senses are interchangeable. It can change. Like with his eyes, he can even taste, he can smell, which is not possible with our body, right? Like again, there in Bhagavad it is there, Angani yasya sakalendriya vrithimanti pashyanti bhanti kalayanti chiram jaganti ananda chinmay sadujjvala vigrahasya govindamadi purusham tamham bhajami. Angani yasya sakalendriya vrithimanti. So his all of his senses can do all the actions, all the activities. It is not just with eyes only he can see. He can see with all his senses. angani yasya sakhalendriya vrittimati. Right? So, and that is what Brahma is saying also. Right? So the Krishna senses are, and even if you take in general perception, suppose I send a mail, to a friend, and the mail is gone to the friend also, and it is in my mailbox also, the sent copy. It is duplicated. Is it sent or not? Just like if you offer food, is it gone or not? Did Krishna take or not? When we are able to do that, why can't Krishna do it? Right? Or even if you say, teacher is basically teaching a subject, it is in the mind of teacher, and he teaches to the kid, and kid learns it, he remembers it. It's in the mind of kid also and the teacher also. How come it is there in two places when there is only one object? Similarly, when you offer to Krishna, it is there, and even it is Krishna has taken, and still it is there, right? Even if you see, many people, they put things in the sun, right? So that it gets purified. People say when you put things in sun, it gets purified. Bacteria is gone. Then you put some food utensils in the sun. What happens? The item is the same, no? Nothing has changed. Then bacteria is gone. So sun has glanced on the item. It has become purified, but it is still there. So when we are able to see it live, why can't Krishna take it? Right? And Krishna does it even more. Just like sun, when it purifies the water, when water is kept in the sun for a long time, so it can clean the water. Only dirt is remained. Correct. So in the dirty water, only dirt is remained, and water is taken by the sun. Right. Similarly, when you offer food to Krishna, all the sins are gone, and then the mercy is kept. That is prasad. Mercy is prasad. Right. So all the sins are gone. So that's what Krishna can do. And Prabhupada said, when you offer to Krishna, he was giving an analogy, like, when you put iron in the fire, it becomes fire. The iron rod becomes fire, correct? After some time. So when you offer food to Krishna, it becomes Krishnized. Right? So that's what Prabhupada used to say. Right? So we should not see in that vision. The conditioned vision is that we see, is it really happening? Are we valuing our offering? Are we valuing the deities? Are we valuing the devotees? Right? Like even, are we seeing the devotees as devotees, or same based on some other backgrounds? Right? So spiritual vision. So things connected to Krishna become very special. Dress, boga, garlands, tulasi. Right? Places connected to him are divine, like Vrindavan, Kurukshetra, all dhams. And like we discussed, right? We discuss about Kurukshetra war. We don't discuss about Panipat war. Right? Why? Because Kurukshetra, Krishna is there. He is the ultimate entity who is there. And Krishna is, he has given Bhagavad Gita there in Kurukshetra. That's why we Krishna discuss. Even while we don't go to devotees, they don't go to any other place. They prefer going to Dham. Right? Recently we went to Melkote. Why don't we go to Maldives? Right? So devotees go to Melkote because they find the importance of seeing Krishna there, and they respect. Even in Melkote, we have seen the very, very exalted devotees, even from material backgrounds. They're very exalted, and they are serving Lord Narasimha. Just like that is their whole purpose of life. Right? So devotees, even if you go to Vrindavan, you find every tree, every sand, just a dirt of sand, but devotees, kind of jump and roll on it. When you add Krishna to that, it becomes the Chintamani, where Krishna has walked in that sand, right? So initially, even from our perspective, there are three stages, like how we see a deity. We see initially as Jada Buddhi. We see as Jada, matter. Is it made of marble? Deity is of marble. Is it made of stone? Right? It's more of material, kind of low mentality, how we see things first. So as we progress, then we see in the way of Manomaya Buddhi. We offer prayers, we do kirtan, we pray, we put our emotions, Manomaya, right? And later, then we see in Chinmaya Buddhi. We see, it's not any doll or anything. It is Krishna. He has come here. He is the supreme controller. He has come here, and we are able to see him. We are to serve him with devotion. Like we have seen in the Melkote Dham also, a lot of past lives, right? How devotees were serving with great dedication to deity, right? Just like again, if you go to a friend, no, you don't say that, no, hey friend, no, your body is made of blood, flesh, mucus, no, urine, all that. Do we talk like that to a friend? No. What do we talk? We see the spirit in him. We see the spirit in the friend, mother, father, and then talk to. We don't see the body, right? Because we know them. Similarly, when we go to Krishna, we don't see, is it a marble? Is it stone? Right? We see him as spiritual. He is a spiritual form available for a materialize. That's what we see with Krishna. There is our Acharya, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, right? So he was an Acharya, and during this time, because he's an Acharya, he was allowed inside to go and temple sanctum and see deity very closely. But he used to just stand outside and pray, right? One time, while he was old also, so he was praying to the deity. He came to the temple, was praying to the deity, and he forgot his spectacles. Then there's a disciple beside him. He was just pushing, please take spectacles, you can't see the deity clearly. So then he said, stop. Do you think with just the spectacles I can see Krishna? Do you think you can just see Krishna with your material eyes? Right? He said, I can't see Krishna. I'm not qualified to see Krishna also. Right? Ideally, I came here so that Krishna can put a glance on him, mercy on me, so that I get his mercy. It's not that I see, I enjoy. No. I serve, I get the blessings. Right? That is the mood he was with. Right? And in one other occasion, he said, this back in some time when there was one of the temple openings in Pune, in which he sees in 2014-15. So I was one of the crowd volunteers inside the temple sanctum again. So I was able to see the Abhishek, the deities, everything. So I was crowd volunteer. My service was to just push devotees, go fast. And I was not able to do very nicely because I wanted to see the deities. It was very beautiful. The Abhishek was going on. Then the devotee in charge, he came to me and said, Prabhu, don't try to see Krishna. Try to serve Krishna in a way that he wants to see you. So I was shocked by seeing this, and it was actually said by the Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, right? Actually. So we should serve in a way so that Krishna wants to see us, not that we can. Because with our material vision, we can't see Krishna really, right? And not just Krishna, but I would say even everything connected to Krishna, like we have Tulsi, right? So yeah. So are we just seeing it as a plant? Any other plant? So it is said, if you even stamp, the tulsi leaf which has fallen down with your legs, you have to take 1,000 lifetimes to remove that sin. I mean, it is a statement according to Shastra, and you should see the exaltedness of Tulsi, right? So it is very exalted. So Tulsi, she is not just a plant; she is the manager of a spiritual world. Whatever seva comes to is given by Tulsi Maharani. That's why in our temples we chant, while we chant, we put Tulsi in front of us. We take our association, right? We do arati, right? And take association. Similarly, even this garlands, right? So if they're given to you, what you do? I mean, you should see it is worn by Krishna. It is actually worn by Krishna. You should not just say it is any garland made, can be purchased outside. That's not the vision we have to see. Yeah. So here Uddhava says in this verse, you can read this. Sarraghanda vasulankara charchita uchchista bhojino dasas tavamayam jayemihi. So simply by decorating ourselves with garlands, fragrant oils, clothes and ornaments that you have already enjoyed, and by eating the remnants of your meals, your servants will indeed conquer your illusory energy. So whatever is offered to Krishna, the deity, dresses, garlands. Like morning we have the incense. When you do arati, we get incense which is offered to Krishna. So just by taking it as prasad, right? So devotees can conquer Maya, right? There is a power of the paraphernalia of Krishna. Yeah. So, and again, the faith is needed. So why faith is needed? So our senses naturally perceive in a mundane way. They are not equipped to judge divinity. Some secret things cannot be verified by experiment, but by Shastra and Shraddha. As years pass and faith increases, vision changes. They are my divine shelter, right? So again, for example, if you go to Ganga, some people may say Ganga is very dirty. Does really Ganga purify you? Do you have? So it is with faith. Only if you have faith in these things, you can you can take a dip and purify yourself, right? Devotees, sometimes they go to Ganga. I mean, there could be some bubbles. Maybe a dead body might be there nearby. Some bubbles might be coming. So just remove it and drink it, because they believe that this is Ganga. It's not anything like any other river, which is that. It is Ganga which is purifying us, right? Right. We should not ask deity, show me your miracle. No, that is not the faith. So we have to see the deity and serve him. That is what we have to see. So here the verse also, Atas Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriya sevonmika hi jivatau swayam eva smruti ada. So Atas Shri Krishna Namati, right? Na bhavet grahyam indriya. So with our gross material senses, we cannot perceive spiritual objects. With our gross material senses, we can't perceive spiritual objects. Then how do we see it? Then it says Sevon Mukohi Jivadav, right? So when we render service, our heart gets purified, right? How will we be able to see? When we render service, our heart gets purified, and then the vision comes, right? So there is one example again. There is one vice chancellor of Banaras University, 1900s, some 1920s. So he came to the ashram of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, and he had a lot of questions, a lot of doubts. And then he went because Maharaj was busy. So he was said, no, devotees thought he was any other person. And then they said, can you wash the pots in the kitchen? So he went inside, rolled up his sleeves, washed it for like half an hour, 1 hour. He washed the pots, and then he came outside and met Maharaj and said, I came with a lot of questions and doubts. Now all my questions and doubts are resolved just by washing the pots. So when we render service, this is a miracle. When you render service, all your questions are answered, right? And when you keep doing this continuously, then the actual vision comes. Prema Anjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena. Your eyes become gladdened by the love of Krishna, right? Yeah. So, I mean, even if you see in general, if you want to really appreciate someone, you need to know him, love him, and serve him. You can't just say, I love him. For example, love means service. You can't just say, I love you, and then it will work. You have to serve them. Only then love is felt, correct? So even if you see so now we see a lot of fans, for politicians, actors and stuff, right? They don't even know each other, and they're still fans, and they go very extent, they even try to kill themselves. There are a lot of instances like that, right? How is that happening when they don't know even each other, right? It is because they are continuously hearing about that hero, reading about that hero, gossiping about that hero. My hero is so and so, his movie is so and so, he does so and so. What is the latest news, latest gossip of my hero? That's what they do continuously, doing maranam of their hero. Correct? So then that's why that love comes, right? So similarly, we should choose who is our hero, right? Our hero is Krishna. So you have to hear about him, read about him, talk about him, chant his name, chant his songs, right? And then when you do that consistently, with love, serve him, serve his devotees, right? When you do that consistently, then when you know him personally, when you go to, when you read about him and then go to DT, you will not find him as like some stone or something. You'll find him as a person. You'll find him as a friend, right? Because you have read about him. So when you do that consistently, then that love comes out, and then that eyes become gladdened by the love of Krishna. Nityananda Prabhu, so that is the highest prema chakshu. So I mean, even Gaurang Prabhu, he used to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He used to see even a normal lake as Yamuna, even a normal hill as Govardhan, right? Because his eyes were gladdened with love for Krishna, right? Yeah. So reviving spiritual vision, right? So yeah. So there are three type of chakshu. Again, how you see things. There is one charma chakshu. Charma, skin, material eyes, right? Then initially when you see things, you see all material eyes. Then you have the second thing is Shastra Chakshu, where whatever you see connected to Shastra. You have a specs now. You have a specs called Shastra. So whatever you see connected to Krishna. Like how I was saying Prabhupada was seeing, right? I was giving an example, right? So you see from the vision of Shastra. If initially you see a person, you see he's someone material body. Secondly, if you see from Shastra, you see he's actually not a body, he's a soul, right? That's how Mahatma see. They see every entity as spark, soul, part and parcel of Krishna. Right? And then you have the third one is Prema Chakshu, which is like with love, right? Like I was saying, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they see everything, even a normal stone as Govardhan, normal lake as Yamuna, right? That is Prema Chakshu, right? And here is a story. So once a devotee, he has entered Mayapur temple, and then so he was seeing all this arati, he was seeing all these sounds. Even the ladies doing when they open the altar, what do you call ulul, they do, right? So he was seeing all these, and he was getting annoyed. So then he approached one of the devotee called Janivas Prabhu. So he says, "Who are you? Name, city." So then he asked, "Who are you?" So then the person said, "I am so and so. I'm so and so. I am from this city." No, I asked, "Who are you?" He said, "No, I am from Hyderabad. I am working here." He said, "Who are you?" So the real identity is soul, right? So we don't see in bodily identity. We see in the spiritual identity. Similarly, devotees see the Lord in the spiritual eyes, right? Not just the body of Krishna, even the following, like accepting Arati, Charnamrit, Ganga water, everything they see with this vision. And so once upon a time, even if you don't feel like, you should still do it, right? Even you don't feel like, you should still do it. Like one time, Prabhupada, so one devotee, all were going down to Prabhupada, and one devotee was standing. He said, "Prabhupada, I don't feel like going down." So Prabhupada said, "First you bow down, and then automatically you will get the feeling." Right? So even if you don't like, you should do. Even if you don't like, even if you don't have the taste to chant, you should still chant. One day you will get the taste for chanting. So you should do it as a responsibility consistently. Right? So even while doing this, you feel the things being connected. How? For example, suppose I sit like this. So in this position, can I feel humble? If I sit like this, can I feel humble? If I put my leg on leg and sit like this, will I feel humble? No. And similarly, if I sit like this, can I feel proud? You all can try. Can you try to feel humble in this position? Or you are feeling proud in this position? So while with actions, when you do consistently, it will revive your actual feeling, right? So that's why Prabhupada said, first you bow down, automatically the feeling will come. When you're standing, you'll feel like, no, I don't want to bow down. Why should I bow down? I have this, I have ego, right? You bow down, then automatically this feeling will come, right? Yeah. So, and mundane vision is deadly. And so this sloka is very important. So I'll go to the meaning of this sloka. So no one should consider the deity in the temple to be made of stone or wood, nor should one consider the spiritual master an ordinary human being. No one should consider a Vaishnava to belong to the particular caste or creed, and no one should consider Charnamrita or Ganges water to be like ordinary water. Nor should anyone consider the Hare Krishna Mahamantra to be material vibration. All these expansions of Krishna in the material world are simply demonstrations of the Lord's mercy and willingness to give facility to his devotees who are engaged in his devotional service within the material world. Right. So just to elaborate this, what we should not do, this is all mundane vision, and this vision makes mind like hell when you do this. So deity is not a stone, Guru is not an ordinary man. If you see Guru, you should not see as an ordinary man. He has come to deliver us, right? He is empowered by Krishna and his representatives, right? Charnamrita is not an ordinary water, right? It is offered to Krishna. It is offered to the feet of Krishna, right? You should not say, no, is it clean? Is it pure? That is beyond what we see, right? So what about Charnamrita? Even devotees consider even the water which is washed to the devotees of Krishna, even that as pure, and they try to drink it. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's stories, devotees used to hanker and wait. If Mahaprabhu washes his feet, they'll drink some water. They don't think it is clean, nothing. That is a vision, or the level of love they have. Holy name as mere sound vibration, right? It's not any mere sound vibration. Vaishnava judged by caste, body, social identity, right? You should never see a Vaishnava by caste, position, body, even if he's deformed, right? Or language, anything. You should not see devotees in that way. It is a great offense to do that, right? So this is the perception towards devotees, a very important aspect. Common mistake. So we label devotees as engineer, branchmate, he's tall, fair, cute, muff, educated, right? Material labels create offenses and distances. We forget the attraction for Krishna and service mode, right? Like you see sometimes people have perception Bihari means is like rowdy, be far away from you feel you see Bihari devotees, they are very sweet, right? So it's an offense you are actually doing in the mind, at least, right? So there was one story of one Maharaj in Vrindavan. So I think Chandravarma Maharaj. So what happened? So he was in Vrindavan, and there was one big devotee person, stout person. He was like having big body, biceps, and he was walking. He was 6 feet, 7 feet tall. He's just walking towards Maharaj. Maharaj thought, no, maybe he'll beat me. He looks like some kind of boxer or something, right? So, but he came to Maharaj and said, Hare Krishna Maharaj. So that's what he said. And then after speaking, Maharaj said, he is the sweetest person I have seen. So externally, he may look, something like stout. Maybe people are intimidated seeing him, but actually he was very sweet. So we should never judge a devotee by his outcomes, looks, right? Prabhupada said, Vishnu Dutas are 400 and our devotees are 200. That is the only difference. Rest all is same to same. Right? That is the only difference you have to see. Right? And even Yamaraj instructed Yamadutas, saying that anyone who has not even chanted once, not even bowed to Krishna once, not have served Krishna once, only bring them to me. Right? And he again warned additionally to be careful with Vaishnavas, just run away from them. That's what he said. So when Yamadutas are very careful with Vaishnavas, then what about us? We should be even more careful, right, in dealing with Vaishnavas. And even Lord Shiva says to Mother Parvati, Aradhanam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param Tasmat Parataram Devi Thadyanam Samacharanam. So he says, oh my dear Devi, among all the worships, the worship to Lord Vishnu Aradhanam Param, is the highest. And better than that is the worship of his devotees. Right? That is what Lord Shiva is saying to Parvati. Right? And why? Because when you serve and please his devotees, Lord Vishnu gets pleased. Right? And even in Bhagavad Gita, there is sloka Muktanam api. I can check. Yeah. So Muktanam api Siddhanam Narayana Parayanam Sudurlabha Prasannatma Kotisva api Mahamune. So this word says Muktanam api Siddhanam. So among all the yogis, and Narayana Parayana Sudurlabha Prasannatma, among all the jnanis, right? So if you consider Kotisva, 1 crore. So if you take 1 crore people of yogis and jnanis, you will find one devotee. That is the rareness of a devotee, right? He is very special, right? So never take. I mean, you should be very careful with devotees. Never criticize them. You don't know whom you are sitting with. They are very exalted. Maybe they are acting for us, right? So they are very exalted. So never take devotees lightly and change your perception. Do not criticize. So Krishna can tolerate anything, any anartha you did. He may forgive you, but he will never forgive if you criticize his devotees. There is no option. You might have heard last time Prabhuji was saying about Durvasa Muni story, right? Right? Durvasa Muni, he is offended. Yeah. And even if you see, there are a lot of pastimes, even Jagai Madhe story, Prabhuji was speaking, right? Even Jagai Madhe. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately raised his Shankarshana when Nityananda Prabhu was offended, right? So there is no option if you criticize the devotees. So even, for example, even Jesus Christ states, the reason why I find faults in devotees is that I myself have millions of faults. So when you see faults, you think I am actually faulty. I have faults, but that's why I'm seeing, right? Even there are a lot of pastimes, even in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Leela, like there was, even for the sake of DT. Right. So there was one pastime where Gadadhar Pandit and was taken to Pundarik Vidyanidhi. So he felt he was like a king. He was sitting like royal. He was a landlord, but he was a pure devotee. So what happened? He saw the position of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. He was sitting very royal kind of thing. How could he become a devotee? And he was in mind. He was just feeling he was criticizing the mind. So then what happened? Immediately, immediately the one sloka was sang. Aho Bakiyam. We can check in Bhagavatam. So the sloka, Aho Bakiyam, is that who is this person? Who has delivered the Rakshashi Putana and gave him the position of mother in spiritual world, although she came to kill him. Who is this person? So when he heard this sloka, he became trembled. He became, his eyes were bleeding with love, then he was getting tears. He fell from his chair. He was rolling down all these stairs, right? Seeing his, just by hearing this sloka, when he saw the exaltedness of this devotee, then he understood who he is. We can't see externally how he looks, right? When the reality comes out. So never offend devotee. And similarly, there's one other example that. So one time, Sarudamar Prabhu and again Pundarik Vidyanidhi, they went to Jagannath Puri temple. So then what happened? The Pandas there, so they were decorating Jagannath, and they were giving a cloth, starch cloth, right? In dhoti or anything, starch is applied. So it is very hard, kind of. So they were actually tying Jagannath with starch cloth, and he saw why are pandas doing that. He was trying to criticize, and then the devotees were saying, "Don't, it's okay, it's fine." But again, still said, "No, no, why are they doing kind of thing?" So then he got a bit pacified, and then in the night when he was sleeping, Lord Jagannath came into his dream, and then he bet Pundarik on his cheeks. How come you offend my pandas? They are very dear to me. Whatever they do, I accept. They are very exalted. So he was just beating, and in the morning his cheeks were big. So yeah, so never offend the devotees. That's that. I mean, you don't know who they are, right? So I mean, even to get beaten by Jagannath, you need to be very qualified. If he criticizes, nothing happens. Even to get a touch of Jagannath, you should be very qualified. So that's a pastime, just to showcase the importance of devotees, right? And even, for example, there's one other story I can quickly remember. Rupa Goswami, one of the Shad Goswami Acharyas. So we are also called Rupanugas, the followers of Rupa Goswami. So yeah, one time, so he is very exalted Acharya, and during his time, 400, 500 years back, so he was meditating, and he was able to see the spiritual world in his while he was chanting, right? And in the spiritual world, he was seeing all the activities, and then there was one joke made by some gopi, and he laughed. And while he laughed here, he laughed. So while he was just laughing, there was one devotee who was passing by, and while just laughed, the devotee was in front of him. He was just going, and he was in front of him, and that devotee also was a limp devotee. He was just limping and going. So he thought maybe, he laughed at me, and he didn't say anything. He just felt in mind, and he went away. Right? And as soon as that offense was taken by the devotee, he didn't do it intentionally also. So all this vision of Rupa Goswami went away, has gone, cleared up everything. So then he thought, what happened, what I did? So then the other devotee who was seeing everything, then he said, maybe that happened, he got offended. As soon as he heard, he just ran to the devotee's place, fall on his feet and said, I didn't intend to mean, I didn't do it, I was not knowing all that. And then once the devotee understood that and the offense was not taken, then he was able to come back to the spiritual vision. Right? So although it is not intentional, there was a case like this. So just think how to deal with devotees, how careful we should be with devotees. Right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, never criticize devotees. Right? Yeah. So this is the overall how we should see bhakti. So just to summarize, we discussed a lot of points. So what is the right consciousness? If you see, the right consciousness is service attitude, in the mood of service. There are two things: bhoga vritti and seva vritti. Bhoga vritti means self-centeredness. I want to enjoy, right? And seva vritti is I want to serve. Right? So we should think Krishna is the enjoyer. Like as we enter the temple hall, we should remember, we are not just entering any random place, any place which is common. We should feel this is a palace of king, and who is the king? King is Krishna, and he is not just the king of any small place. He is the creator. He is the controller. Brahma and Shiva also worship him, right? So he is a king. I am entering the palace, and I am just one of the servants here, right? And I am trying to please Krishna. Right? And there are a lot of other people who are coming here, who are the visitors, who are the guests, and I should please them. When I please them, Krishna gets pleased. My king gets pleased. That's the mood we have to enter. Right? And we have to see everything here as spiritual. Even if you see a lot of temples, right? When people go, even outside the stairs, they touch the stair and put to the head. Many people do that. They put the hands and they just bow down to the stairs, which is even outside, right? Because they see inside is not a normal person. He is the king of the creation, right? And everything here is spiritual, not just the temple sanctum. Even the stairs are also spiritual. So we have to see in that consciousness. And the other side is people see, yeah, this is nice place. It's a lot of dust here. Dress is not okay today. The dress can be better, the decoration can be better. No, there is something not working here. So that is the other way, material vision, how people see. So that is like fault finding. So if it is there, maybe we can just roll our hands and serve and clean it up if you want, right? So, and the real consciousness is also the mood of gopis. So gopis, whatever they did, they didn't do just for themselves. Whatever they decorated themselves, they did for Krishna. Right? The mood of gopis is very very high. Right? Whatever they did in their lives, they did for Krishna. Right? And it is very hard to reach that level. Right? Even even if you take the example of Hanuman, right? He was sevavritti, in the mood of service, continuously in the mood of service. Again, sevavritti. Again, if you take Ravana, he was trying to enjoy, bhogavritti. So when we come, are we in the mood of service, or are we in the mood of enjoying? This is not clean. Means I want to enjoy. I want to see it clean, right? So, or if it is, if we come in a mood that it's Krishna is there, devotees are there, right? So then it is you come in the humble mode and try to serve, right? Yeah. So, and even if you are suppose kind of delivering lecture, so a person like me feels I am delivering, I am delivering people. It's so that should not how we should see it. We should see that it's an opportunity that I got, so I can share what I learned from acharyas and share the good fortune with humility. That's how we should see. Somehow you can pray that I can see in the similar vision and benefit myself. Yeah. So that's the topic we wanted to discuss. I'll leave it open. Any questions or any doubts, you can just raise. Yes. So, yeah. Yeah. So initially we discussed about how we how acharyas see things, and then we saw the material vision, how we should see the deity, and how we should not see the deity as material or spiritual. Right? How should we see deity? Is it made of marble? Or is it Krishna standing there and we should serve him, or we are expecting some miracles from him? Right? Yeah. And then we discussed about the conditioned vision, the vision we have, how we offer bhoga, how we see devotees, how we see garlands. We call even garlands, we call it nirmala, it's an alaya, right? We don't think in any flower to throw away. We have a separate section, nirmala, in the back, in the balcony. We put it all there and then we throw it in the river, right? So, and conditioned vision, how we should show devotees, and what is the spiritual vision, how to see them. That's what we discussed. And then lastly we discussed the perception towards devotees, how we should do devotees, see devotees, right? How we should enter the temple hall and serve them, right? And we should see them as exalted. We don't know whom we are sitting with, right? And never criticize them. So this is the overall summary which we have discussed. And once we come into the right mood, then Krishna reveals himself. And this is a continuous process. You have to have three things: utsaha, nishya, dhairyat, right? You should keep the enthusiasm, continue to serve, sevan mukahi jivadav, right? Serve. When you serve, automatically things get revealed. And then you achieve the end goal, the prema anjana churita bhakti vilochana. The eyes become gladdened with love for Krishna, right? So that's what we discussed. Any other questions anyone wants to raise? Okay. Hare Krishna. Do you have announcements or something?